everyone. So many of you won't know that I've actually been away for a couple of weeks in the camper van, and me and my fiance and my little dog spent all of Christmas, well, post-Christmas and New Year and my birthday in Scotland. And we went all over, not inland though, but we focused more on the Highlands following the North Coast 500 route. I totally recommend it, not in a big vehicle though, something quite small. And obviously check the weather. So you can imagine it was bitterly cold, we saw snow, we saw ice, we saw sun. So on the evenings we couldn't survive without a heater, definitely not. And plenty of thermals. But there's something about going on these treks where all of the healthy eating sort of goes out the window, and we usually just walk around with a backpack, go on a big hike and completely jam-pack or cram-pack our backpacks with loads of sugary treats and things like that. But the Swiss sweetie company Ricola actually got in touch and challenged us to do a sugar switch and ditch challenge. So knowing we had this trip coming up, I thought this was the perfect opportunity. And the beauty about the range they sent me is that it's all sugar-free and it's all cultivated in the Swiss Alps, and it's made up of a series of 13 Swiss herbs. And you can find them in all major supermarkets, health food stores, chemists, or buy them directly from ricola.com. And one thing I have to tell you right now is we could not tell that these were sugar-free. But there was one in particular that I really didn't like, and I'm sure many of you will sympathise with me shortly, so I'll get to that in a bit. So the very first one I grabbed to try as a baseline was Ricola's The Original Sweet. And just by looking at the packet, I thought it would be some sort of honey flavour, and it wasn't far off actually, so I feel like the packaging is almost spot on. It was actually quite a classic caramel flavour with a very refreshing hint of mint. I think more along the lines of maybe a cough syrup sweet, which I don't think is a bad thing, so I would definitely have these again. The next one I wanted to try because it left me really curious was Ricola's Scrumptious Orange Mint with vitamin C. Now, I like this idea because it's not just an orange sweet. You can pick out many orange sweets anywhere, but this was really refreshing. It hits high notes and it's almost like having a drink. And I was slightly hesitant, but that definitely worked as well. And for the third one that I tried was Ricola's Delicious Elderflower Sweet. This really is delicious. In fact, this is my favourite out of all of these. And this actually took me back to an elderflower cordial that I had in a pub a few weeks back because I was driving, and it really was so thirst quenching. And I thought, hang on, why don't I just put one in a cup of boiling water, give it a stir. It does actually stick to the spoon quite a bit, so you do need to work at it, but it really is worth it. And I could probably eat these all day long, but let's face it, it is all about moderation. And then moving on to Ricola's Refreshing Lemon Mint with Vitamin C. This I did try and avoid, to be honest, because I didn't want something too bitter lemon. But again, don't let sugar-free put you off like it did me. And I did find it got slightly bitter as I got to the very end of the sweet. I don't know if that was just me, but that's what I remember anyway. But generally it was really smooth on the palate, and I think this would probably be a perfect buddy alongside a lemsip, or even make it into a lemon tea like the elderflower one. That is a thought because I haven't done that yet, but that I can imagine being really nice if you're full of cold. And then I tried Ricola's Tasty Cranberry with vitamin C. I didn't know what to expect with this one because back in the day I feel like I've had to train myself to like cranberry juice. It does have a bit of a bitter aftertaste. Not this actually, this really did surprise me. It's very sweet. It was perfect. Obviously it tasted of cranberry because it has cranberry in it, but I think it's all the good things about cranberry juice without the bitterness. So definitely thirst quenching with a tiny bit of mint to give it that refreshing taste. And then I picked up the penultimate one, which was Ricola's Fresh Mountain Mint. Again, sugar-free, all of them are sugar-free. I thought it would be boring because I've got to be in the right mood for a mint. In fact, it's been a long time since I've picked up a packet of mints. But what really beautifully surprised me was it was actually spearmint inside. I think spearmint is the best kind of mint. So if you like spearmint, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised about that. Don't underestimate the mint. And then finally, I thought I'd leave the least favourite till last. And some of you might sympathise with me on this one, and it's Ricola's Luxurious Licorice. I hate licorice. My face, you should have seen it, it was a picture. I don't even know if I got it on camera, but oh, it does truly taste of licorice. It does taste strong. I know my parents would absolutely love this, but it's just not for me. Any kind of licorice, no matter what, I just wouldn't want it. I couldn't even get through a whole sweet. And it is sweet as well, but it still doesn't take the fact that I just don't like licorice. I think it's one of those things that you love or you hate. But I'm sure if you love licorice, you're probably gonna love this too. So I hope you found that really useful. There's so many benefits to not eating sugar as well. And for me, one of my favorites is the fact that it's kinder to your teeth. I don't have to worry so much about teeth rotting and going to the dentist. And I also think that not eating sugar just generally improves your willpower. And of course, it comes hand in hand with weight loss. If you like a chocolatey pudding or something like that on an evening after your meal, then you're more likely to be hyper and struggle to get to sleep. And it goes without saying, you're more likely to lower the chances of diabetes, lower your blood sugar level, and heart disease. And I thought I'd just finish the video giving you a few tips to help you in the new year to prevent cravings. And one of my favourite tips is to actually eat until you're full. I really try to avoid restricting eating things on a diet, even if that means you feel like you're eating for 4 people, providing it's low fat and healthy. I just like to bulk up my meals with loads and loads of veg. You're just less likely to fall down a slippery slope. And that's another reason I love to eat loads of soup all the time as well. And in a morning, we always have a sugar-free vanilla syrup in our coffees. And then on an evening, just before we go to bed, I like the habit of having a cup of tea instead of a piece of cake with some sweetener. It just takes the edge off. And finally, something that really works for me is to start off with a healthy breakfast that is either full of protein, like a healthy omelette, or a healthy with sweetener porridge, because it will keep you fuller for longer. So thank you so much to Ricola for challenging us on their Switch and Ditch campaign. It certainly did train us to not eat so much rubbish while we're hiking, whereas before we were just eating chocolate bars for high instant energy. So if you do actually try the challenge yourself, then comment below, let me know what your favourite product is, and hopefully I'll see you soon and have a great 2017. Thanks for watching, bye!